100%. I think that's actually one of the reasons that I kept loving dance. It's because it brings me back to spirituality and it brings me back to focus. I think bridging the two worlds came very easily just because they were kind of polar opposites. One is, with dance, there are no words, and then with writing, there are only words. It's like you are going from nonverbal to verbal, and that shift can be scary in a way because you've known one thing for so long, and especially, for people who are so comfortable with one piece of the puzzle. For example, if there are people who are just amazing at speaking, public speaking, giving speeches, teaching, and then they are asked to come join a dance class, and maybe they're so nervous because their bodies haven't been accustomed to moving like this, or maybe they've never felt fully giving themselves permission to even move like that and to feel their body and to kind of melt into their body without fear or without judgment or shame. There are so many humps that we personally have to get over, whether it is in dance or any other field. So I think the best way to bridge that is to take the first step and see how you feel. We have beginner adult classes, so I love kind of meeting with all the students and seeing how they feel. It's like we're going to do one step at a time, and to give them the freedom to interpret how they want to do it, not to micromanage or control every movement, but just to give them the floor once you show them the movements. And if they have questions, yes, please ask, and we will guide you through the choreography or the variation. But for people to just be given kind of the guidelines of what they should do and experiment with it and go beyond the shame, because I think in the beginning we all feel a sense of perhaps suppressed shame. If we're trying something new as adults, we have so much expectation, I think, from childhood, with adults trying to shape us to be perfect. And while it's great to do a good job, you can't put so much pressure on yourself, because then it's hard to get into the flow and it's hard to enjoy yourself. So I think the goal is always to be better, but to also find presence through the emotions, through whatever feelings may arise, whether it is self-worth issues or it is like, oh, I don't know if I even like this. And that's fine too, It's like we have to just try things and be okay with failing at the end of the day. I think when we heal through movements, when we really heal with anything, but just, I think the permission of allowing ourselves to be, which can be so anxiety inducing in the beginning, just because I think many of us have grown up either consciously or subconsciously performative. And I think I actually had an argument with one of my friends the other day about kind of accepting my views or accepting what I'm saying without kind of forcing me to fit into their belief system. Because I think to be a good friend, I think it means to being accepting of other people's beliefs and thoughts and changes in thoughts, and not to be so rigid, because I think it's also kind of giving us pressure that we have to conform and we have to think like somebody else, or we have to believe what somebody else believes, because that's the only way that we can achieve peace or unity, and that's totally not true. I think that was a huge learning curve for me and for a lot of people. I think as we're growing and evolving, we want to be accepted, and we also want to understand ourselves. And I think that's what I first learned when I started shifting from the professional space into broadening up and giving the opportunity to all. It's like, wow, we are healing so much trauma surrounding perfectionism, performative behavior, and also jealousy and competition. There could be negative competition as well, because this idea of hating somebody because maybe they are at a higher level or more advanced. And I think that's where bullies come in. Like, who hasn't had experiences with bullies, right? It's like, it's so common, it's so traumatic in a way, because it does leave a dent on our psyche. We oftentimes have to go to therapy and talk about a bully and talk about how that damaged our self-esteem or our ability to be seen by others. And I think it's a lifelong journey. We have to kind of learn to value ourselves and to appreciate our beliefs, to know that our beliefs are okay, to know that we deserve to think how we want, and we don't have to have a fear that somebody will neglect or reject us based on our beliefs just because they're different. And I think the value of friendship is also a huge learning curve as we become adults, because we start to see who is actually our friend. And a friend is such a simple and beautiful companionship that I think a lot of people will either feel like they have been taken for granted or they have been used in some way, especially if they're an empath. I think so many people these days are empaths, and they're so open and they're so kind. They just want to share their friendship. And I think I personally had to learn boundaries, physical boundaries, energetic boundaries, because people maybe don't have the same interest in bonding the way you want to bond. So looking out for yourself and for connecting with people who value the same things like you, I think that's a really crucial step to navigating the whole world of adulthood and spirituality and finding connection. Watch how people respond to that, because you will understand people so quickly if you have different belief systems or you have current different beliefs. Just watch how they respond. If they don't allow you to have your thoughts or to express your thoughts without them rudely interrupting, rudely putting their own beliefs on top of yours, I mean, that says something. It's like you should be allowed to believe your thoughts.